Behavior just released the official top MMR tier list. We have been waiting for this for years and we finally have it, and a lot of people's heads are probably about to explode from this information. The list here is of the kill rate for all MMRs. This is the information Behavior has always shared with us up to this point. But as you can see from things like Nurse being the worst killer in the game, this information has always been mostly useless because it just uses data that doesn't really mean anything. Now, Behavior has given us this: the kill rates for each killer at the top 5% of MMR. I hate to say it, but these statistics prove that player skill matters more than how powerful a killer's power actually is. There's a 9% kill margin between every killer in the game at the tippity top of MMR. That's a very tight margin statistically speaking. I feel like content creators are literally going to turn themselves inside out trying to come up with explanations and excuses for this. Anyway, let's dig into the statistics for fun. First thing, Nurse and Blight seem way too low on this list. They are both tied with Sadako. This makes me assume that too many high MMR killer mains are not skipping the right daily challenges, but either way, it's a fact now. Wesker, Plague, and Dredge are the best 3 killers in the game, which I guess makes some sense, I suppose. Okay, now this is important. Since twins are a high MMR monster at high MMR, by definition, Wraith, Pig, Sadako, Pinhead, and Oni are all now proud members of the high MMR monster club. Moving on, Freddy is here somehow, which makes me assume that crossplay off Switch players had a big impact on these statistics. I'm just kidding, but I really can't remember the last time, even in solo queue, that I lost to a Freddy. So maybe he's just not popular in Europe, I'm not really sure, but somehow Freddy is only 1% less effective than Nurse. Myers is also here, and I'm sure a lot of tier makers are scratching their heads right now, but I'm not really surprised by this. I literally can't remember the last time I played against a normal Myers. It's always Tombstone, Infinite Tier 3, Infinite Tombstone, or Jump Scare Myers, so not really that shocking at all. Now, one fair major flaw with these statistics is they don't really show anything about how many hooks the killer got in a match, which I think explains why Huntress is so low on the list, because Huntress mains are the biggest chads in the DVD community and they usually don't run any gen defense, opting for utility aura reading and like chase perks. So it makes sense that she is so low on the list while still being one of the most lethal killers in the game. Let's move on to the bottom 3 killers in the game, starting with Leatherface. To me, this makes sense. Bubba is an absolute victim at high MMR. All it takes is 2 windows that connect to each other and he loses his entire power. Top MMR survivors will eat a Bubba for breakfast and they will not play into a face camp. Then there's Demo, and Demo has suffered severely from power creep. There are killers with way better teleports, superior ranged attacks, and even killers who use Save the Best for Last equally as well. Even with his portals, he doesn't feel mobile. His shred is quite easy to predict. In general, he's an easy killer to run. Demo really needs some quality of life updates to speed up his teleports and how fast he places his portals, in my opinion. Hopefully with the next Stranger Things DLC, he gets some TLC. Then there's Trapper in the very last place, and I didn't really see this coming. Most Trappers I play against use double Eerie add-ons, almost all of them. This could be a sign that the top 5% of MMR largely plays against Survive with Friends, I'm not sure. But again, it's very marginal. It's a 5% difference from the S tier killers. I would have bet money on Freddy being the weakest killer in the game, but I guess that's not the case. All of that said, there is a silver lining here. If you are really good with a killer, you're not going to get screwed. You are basically going to win just as much as any other killer in the game. The match quality might be lower, it might be more stressful, it might be more RNG reliant, things like that. But if you really love a killer, don't let the fear of tier placement deter you from mastering them. In no time at all, you can single-handedly raise your killer statistics high enough to join the elite high MMR monster club. Alright, let me know what you all think about these statistics, and as always, thanks for watching and have a good one.